there's an infinite number of parallel Earths and alternative universes that are coexisting right now. So in one timeline, there's going to be an apocalypse. There's going to be a third world war, a nuclear holocaust, end of the world scenario. And the people that are vibrating in fear are the ones that are going to reap that. And then on another positive timeline, or the opposite polar of that, is bringing the power back to the people, advanced technologies, free energy, all that restored back to the earth. And then there's everything in between. So this is what I call the bifurcation of timelines. So depending on people's vibrations, they're either going to end up in one or the other. Their rate of vibration, their state of emotional, their emotional state of being, and where they choose to focus their attention will ultimately determine in which earth they end up in. The people that mean no harm, that are in somewhat service to others, despite of their fear, I've always believed that somehow they are going to make the ascension.
A spiritual awakening explained in under 60 seconds. Let's go. From the moment we're born, we come under what's called a veil of forgetfulness. As we come into these physical bodies at birth, we are compressed light into a density that cuts us off from our actual soul aspects. As we go through life, this is further reinforced by limiting beliefs and programming that we pick up in school and in religion and things like that. Well, one day in the future, you're going to start to feel this emptiness within you, this knowing, this longing for something greater that cannot be found when looking out into your external reality. That is a moment of a spiritual awakening. You will start to slowly reconnect with your divine self, your soul aspect, your spirit, and that will start to come through. That veil of forgetfulness, that brick wall that kept you separated from this aspect of you, this greater aspect of you, will start to dissolve.
This morning I just woke up and it just came on me very strongly, and I was trying to get ready to go for a walk. I thought, I'm going to go for a walk and I'm going to try to figure out what's happening for me. And then before I got there, I went on something anyway. I got this verse and I'm going to read it to you because I think that it will shed some light on some things for some people, I think. Okay.
So I've managed to compose myself, and now I'm going to read what I have read this morning that upset me to that extent. So here it is. We will keep their lives short and their minds weak while pretending to do the opposite. We will use our knowledge of science and technology in subtle ways so that they never see what is happening. We will use soft metals, aging accelerators and sedatives in food and water as well as in the air. They will be covered in poisons wherever they turn. The soft metals will make them lose their minds. We will promise to find a cure from our many funds, and yet we will give them more poison. Chemical poisons will be absorbed through the skin of idiots who believe that certain hygiene and beauty products presented by great actors and musicians will be eternal youth to their faces and bodies, and through their thirsty and hungry mouths we will destroy their minds and systems of internal organs, reproduction. However, their children will be born as disabled and deformed, and we will hide this information. The poisons will be hidden in everything around them, in what they drink, eat, breathe, and wear. We have to be ingenious in distributing the poisons because they can see far. We'll teach them that poisons are good, with funny pictures and musical tones on TV. Those who are looking for them will be helpful. We will enroll them to push our poisons. They will see that our products are used in film and they will get used to them, and they will never know their true effect. When they give birth, we will inject poisons into the blood of their children and convince them that we are helping them. We will start earlier when their minds are young, and we will target their children with what children love most, sweet things. When their teeth decay, we will fill them with metals that kill their minds and steal their future. And when their ability to learn has been affected, we will create more drugs that will make them sicker and cause them other illnesses, for which we will create even more drugs. We will make them docile and weak before us by our power. They will grow depressed, slow, and obese. And when they come for us to help, we will give them more poison. We will focus our attention on money and material goods so they never connect with their inner self. We will distract them with fornication, external pleasures, so that they are never one with the unity of all. Their minds will belong to us, and they will do as we say. And if they refuse, we will find ways to implement technologies that alters the mind in their lives. We will use fear as a weapon. We will establish their governments, and we will establish opposition within them. We will own both sides. We will always hide our goal, but we will continue our plan. They will do the work for us, and we will prosper from their toil. Our families will never mix with theirs, and our blood, it must be pure because it is. We will make them kill each other when they oppose us. We will keep them separate from unity through dogma and religion, and we will control all aspects of their lives and tell them what to think and how. We will guide them kindly and let them believe that they are guiding themselves. We will instigate animosity among them through our factions. When a light shines among them, we will extinguish it by mockery or death, whichever suits us. We will make them tear their hearts apart and kill their own children. We will accomplish this using hatred as our ally, anger as our friend. Hatred will completely blind them, and they will never see that in their conflicts we will be their leaders. They will be killing each other. They will bathe in their own blood and kill their neighbours as long as we see that they are against us. We will benefit greatly from this, for they will not see us, for they cannot see us. We will continue to prosper from their wars and their deaths. We will repeat this until our ultimate goal is achieved. We will continue to make them live in fear and anger, and we will give them images and sounds. We will use all tools we have to achieve this. The tools will be provided by their work, and we will make them hate themselves and their neighbours. We will always hide the divine truth from them, that we are all one. That he must never know. They must never know that colour is an illusion. They must always believe that they are not equal. And drop by drop by drop by drop, we will advance our goal. We will take over their lands and resources and wealth to exercise control over them. We will trick them into accepting laws that will steal the little freedom they have. We will set up money systems that will shut them down forever, keeping them and their children at debt. When we band them together, we will accuse them of murder and present a different story to the world because we own all media. We will use this media to control the flow of information and their feelings in our favour. When they rise up against us, we will crush them like insects because they are less than that. They will be helpless to do anything about it.
Earth itself is changing its vibration and its frequency to move into the new dimension. In order for us to go, our bodies have to change frequency and vibration in order to follow. You can't have it happen all at once. To change the frequency immediately would be too hard on the body, and the body would be destroyed. So we're going in stages. We have to adapt as we go. This has been happening since about the year 2003. You feel it in your body with actual physical changes. Some people say they feel it with high blood pressure, heart palpitations, heart problems, especially the speeding up and slowing down like AFib of the heart, depression, dizziness. Sometimes you'll be dizzy for days and you won't understand what's causing it. Joint aches and pains. And this is general depression. These are the way the body is adjusting because everything has to adjust on a cellular level. It'll go on for a few days. You'll be uncomfortable. Then it'll level out. And maybe you'll go a month or two, then it'll come back again, the same feelings as you adjust. People are going to the doctors, and the doctors say there's nothing wrong with them. Of course, the doctor will put you on a pill anyway, but they can't find anything physically wrong with them.
Some will use 2 Thessalonians 2:2 to argue that the day of Christ cannot be at hand. In other words, it cannot be imminent. However, the verse shows in 1 Samuel chapter 9 and verse 8 that at hand means it's already here. In Matthew chapter 26 and verse 46, Jesus is pointing out at hand, meaning that the traitor is already here. So in 2 Thessalonians 2:2, when the writer says that the day of Christ is not at hand, he's talking about the day of Christ is not already here. He's not arguing against the imminency of the rapture, because he'll contradict himself in Romans chapter 13, verse 11 through 12, where he says that the rapture, the day, is near. It's imminent. Also, John in Revelation says in Revelation 22:20 that he expects Jesus Christ to come any moment.
What will happen to children when the rapture takes place? This may be one of the most sensitive videos I've ever made, so you're gonna want to watch till the end. The rapture is an event that's about to take place, and it's when Jesus is gonna come down from heaven and remove his church from the earth. Some people will be taken to heaven, and some people will be left behind. So what will happen to the children? The Bible says in 1 Corinthians 7 that when the parent is holy and is making the rapture, by default, the child will also make the rapture. But if the parent is living unholy and is not going to make the rapture, the child will most likely not make the rapture either. If you want to learn more about the rapture, subscribe now.
You will turn into a being of light. You won't need anything. But the new earth is so beautiful and so wonderful. Now the old earth, we're leaving. It's a separating of the two. The old earth is where the negativity is. That's where all of the wars, all of the hurricanes, all of the earthquakes, all these things, the catastrophes are being left with the old earth. Those that are into too much negativity stay with the old earth. They can't change their vibration fast enough to go. It has to be a gradual thing. So they stay with the old earth. They said they've stayed with what they have created because that's their karma. They have to stay with that. Eventually when they die, they will go somewhere where they are still karma to be repaid. They say, don't worry about it. Eventually they're all going to get there anyway. But this is separating. This is what's in the Bible, in the book of Revelations, when they talk about the new heaven and the new earth. And those they're taken, those are left behind. This is what they're talking about. But when look at what we do to the earth. But it is going to go. It's moving into another dimension. The vibrations and the frequencies of this planet are moving into the next dimension. And if we want to go with it, we have to change. We have to evolve. And our vibrations and frequencies also have to change to match it. But this is what we're talking about, the new earth, and separating and going into the new frequency. The first time in the history of the universe that an entire planet has changed its vibration and is moving into another dimension. This never happened before. And all the ETs, all the beings, everybody are out there watching. They said, this is the greatest show on earth. Are we going to be able to do it? Are we going to be able to pull it off? It started about 2003, and we're at the height of it right now. People keep saying, when is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? You're in the middle of it now. And those of you who are aware of it know things are changing. You know the vibrations are different. Time is speeding up. You know, it's a game. A lot of people like to push your buttons, and they know what to say and what to do to set you off. Once you do that, you release them and let them go, they can't push your buttons anymore. They may try, but it's not going to work because it's not important to you anymore. You want to come back and do it again with those same people? That's the law if you don't release them and let them go. This is the number one thing you've got to do if you want to move to the new earth. Let all of the karma go. Forgive these people, and then try not to make any more karma. The second thing you've got to do if you're going to go, get rid of fear. Fear holds you to the old earth. You saw our t-shirts, didn't you? Fear is an illusion. Fear is for entertainment purposes only. They say fear is not real. The only thing that is real is love. Fear holds you. It makes you afraid. As they said, don't buy into the stuff you hear on the news. Don't buy into all this stuff that are people trying to make you afraid. They get you scared of these imaginary diseases they come up with. Afraid. As they said, don't buy into the stuff you hear on the news. Don't buy into all this stuff that are people trying to make you afraid. They get you scared of these imaginary diseases they come up with. Afraid of, we're in this economic crisis. The world is coming down. And we don't even listen to that stuff. People email us and say, well, what about the economic crisis? They say, what economic crisis? That's not our world. So don't buy into all this fear. You create your own reality. Everything in your life you have put there, you can have that world because that's what you want in your world. You create your reality. You want that other world, okay. You want to buy into the fear. Another thing I forgot too, when you're forgiving everybody and let it go, another thing you got to do, you got to forgive yourself. That's not easy. Remember, it takes two. You've always had a part in all of this, and you're part of the play that you're presenting. So you forgive yourself. And it has to be done because there's no place in the new world for any of this. That's why they keep saying we're no longer accumulating karma anymore. But you've still got this stuff you got to get rid of.